The AEM 21-696C and 21-696P air intake systems are engineered to add horsepower and reduce friction compared to OEM air intakes, and they come with a lifetime limited warranty. These AEM air intakes utilize a large reusable dry flow air filter. This oil-free filter is durable and very easy to clean. AEM 21-696C and 21-696P air intakes fit 2009 and 2010 Dodge Challenger and Dodge Charger models with 3.5-liter engines. These air intake systems are 50 State Street legal for the vehicles previously mentioned. See the AEM catalog or AEMintakes.com for up-to-date model details. Check AEMintakes.com for up-to-date information on emissions legality for specific parts on specific vehicles. AEM power testing showed an estimated power gain of 7.3 horsepower gain at 3,800 RPM, with these air intake designs installed on a 2009 Dodge Challenger with a 3.5-liter engine. Actual results will vary depending on the condition of the vehicle, mileage, weather, and other variables. Here's a comparison of the vehicle's sound on the dyno with the stock OEM system versus AEM's air intake system. AEM air intakes come with detailed instructions with pictures and diagrams. AEM intakes are engineered for specific vehicles to produce a safe horsepower increase. Preparing the vehicle. Make sure the vehicle is parked on a level surface. Set the parking brake. If the engine is running the past 2 hours, let it cool down. Disconnect the negative battery terminal. Do not discard stock components after removal of the factory system. Removal of the stock system. Remove the bolt securing the OEM airbox and loosen the hose clamp at the throttle body. Pull to remove the crankcase breather hose from the nipple on the head cover. Unplug the IAT sensor. To unplug the IAT sensor, slide the red tab back to unlock the latch on the plug. Then press in on the latch and pull the plug off the sensor. Gray tabbed connector. Push the top of the gray tab in and simply pull off the connector. Pull the rubber inlet hose off the throttle body, then lift and remove the OEM airbox assembly. Carefully remove the IAT sensor from the OEM rubber inlet hose. Set the sensor aside for future use. Raise the front of the vehicle with a jack. In the wheel well area on each side, remove the 3 clips securing the belly pan. From underneath the vehicle, remove the following: 3 clips, 7 screws, and 2 bolts from the front belly pan. Remove the front belly pan. Locate and remove the 10mm bolt securing the lower intake resonator to the vehicle. Remove the resonator. Universal IAT extension harness kit installation. Because the stock IAT connectors and wire colors may vary between vehicles of the same model year, the AEM intake system includes a universal IAT extension harness kit. Slit open the insulation cover at the end of the IAT connector cable to expose the 2 wires. Cut the wires 1 to 2 inches, 5 centimeters, below the connector. Strip the ends of the wire at the connector. Crimp on 2 Permaseal connectors. Crimp a Permaseal connector onto one end of the provided 20-gauge black extension wire. Crimp another Permaseal connector onto one end of the provided 20-gauge white extension wire. Strip the ends of the cut IAT wires near the throttle body. Crimp the stripped stock wires into the new Permaseal connectors on the black and white wires. Since the color of the stock wires may vary with each vehicle, pay close attention and crimp the other ends of the new black and white wires to the correct color wires on the IAT connector. Using a heat gun or other safe heat source, heat shrink both of the Permaseal connectors until clear sealant comes out of both ends of the connector. Slip the protective convoluted split loom wire cover over the newly extended IAT wire harness. Trim as needed. Installation of AEM cold air intake system. When installing the intake system, do not completely tighten the hose clamps or mounting hardware until instructed to do so. From underneath the vehicle, install the M8 rubber mount through the slotted hole in the sheet metal using one M8 washer and one M8 nut. In order to leave some room for adjustment, do not fully tighten the M8 rubber mount. Hold the rubber coupler and squeeze the hump end of the coupler to collapse it into itself. From underneath the vehicle, hold the collapsed coupler firmly and insert it through the large hole in the sheet metal. Make sure that the hump is all the way through the hole, then release the coupler and manipulate it until the sheet metal snaps into the groove in the coupler. Orient the coupler. Install the grommet into the lower pipe. Attach the air filter with one number 56 clamp. Carefully install the IAT sensor into the grommet. Install the lower pipe assembly using one M8 washer, one M8 nut, and one number 56 clamp. Adjust the lower pipe assembly so that there is equal space between the filter, bumper support, fender liner, and marker lamp. When a good fit is achieved, tighten both nuts on the rubber mount and the number 56 clamp. At the top end of the upper intake tube, install the reducer coupler, one number 56 clamp, and one smaller number 48 hose clamp. Loosely tighten the hose clamps. Install one number 56 hose clamp onto the lower elbow hump hose coupler. Route the new IAT extension harness underneath the existing OEM factory harness. Use the two supplied zip ties to secure the extension harness and route the female connector down below to the lower intake tube. From underneath the vehicle, plug the IAT connector into the IAT sensor in the lower intake tube. Be sure to pull up the red lock tab to secure the connector if applicable. The lower end of the upper intake pipe should be inserted into the lower rubber coupler to a depth of about 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch. Use glass cleaner as a lubricant if necessary. To allow fitment of the reducer coupler over the throttle body, slide the lower end further into the elbow coupler. Then adjust the top end of the intake tube to fit over the throttle body. When a proper fit is achieved, pull up on the lower end of the tube to adjust the fit, then tighten the 3 hose clamps. Install the supplied 1/2 inch inside diameter hose between the crankcase vent on the head cover and the nipple on the upper intake pipe, using the provided small hose clamps. Trim the hose if needed. Remove the protective clear film from the AEM intake system decal. Reinstall the belly pan and hardware, 3 clips, 7 screws, and 2 bolts that were removed in step 2G. Also install the 3 clips for each wheel well area that were removed in step 2F. Reassemble the vehicle. Position the inlet pipes for the best fitment. Be sure that the pipes or any other components do not contact any part of the vehicle. Tighten the rubber mount, all bolts, and hose clamps. Check for proper hood clearance. Readjust pipes if necessary and retighten them. Inspect the engine bay for any loose tools and check that all fasteners that were moved or removed are properly tightened. Reconnect the negative battery terminal and start the engine. Let the vehicle idle for 3 minutes. Perform a final inspection before driving the vehicle. It will be necessary to check AEM air intakes periodically for realignment, clearance, and tightening of all connections. Failure to follow the above instructions or proper maintenance may void warranty. Go to AEMintakes.com to find products, download installation instructions, view dyno charts showing estimated horsepower gains, and for other product details.